and welcome to Deep Dive with DEVGRU Networks. My name is Mike Coker. I'm your host. And today I have my good friend, Edgar Lombera.
Thanks, Mike.
How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you for coming. Glad to have you. I'm excited to have this discussion and go through a bunch of topics.
I think we haven't really talked much about firewalls, but this is the 1600 SRX.
Yeah, we can get into that. The SRX 1600 firewall.
That's right.
One of the new next generation, as evidenced by the green faceplate, something new they did.
That's right.
But the SRX 1600, 2300 came out. Let's talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, these are the 10100 ports. We have some 25 gig capable ports and some 100 gig capable ports. And while the speeds and feeds are cool, from an architecture perspective, I love these SRXs in my data center designs because they're not just like a bolt-on security appliance to a data center design. In fact, this next generation firewall can participate in these EVPN networks and really be an integral part. I mean, I don't have to I'm not bolting it on. It's integral, and that's comes from a kind of a consistent Junos across the board. I think it's Junos evolved is the terminology they use nowadays. It's just Junos to me. But that's an important part.
And 1 gig ports.
Yeah, these are 100 and 1 gig. Yeah. 100 meg and 1 gig ports. Yeah, 25s and then 100 gig.
So let's talk about within this, like segmentation. What that looks like. Like what's we've come a long way from next generation firewall of where we were before with ACL based everything, right?
Yes.
Maybe some policies. And now we have app based, it knows what applications are running, can make decisions based on that.
That's right.
And obviously IPS, IDS, it gets pretty deep with the different feature sets that it can do. So
the whole idea of segmentation is kind of what, important, but I like to think it's like, some security guy came up with the idea that segmentation. But I mean, from a networking perspective, since the days of VLAN, that's always been the case. What this does now is lets you, implement that in a policy structure that is conscious of what's happening on the wire, what's happening in the packets inside. It's not just network layer, and doing things smart. And that's why I'm excited about a next generation firewall that's capable of integrating with the EVPN, because that is those EVPN, those overlays are themselves segment, extensions of segments. So now you're looking at a big coherent picture of how you isolate and control the flow of data across every aspect, every wire, every port of your network. And that extends even beyond it. As much as I like data centers, it's very applicable to campus networks as well. That's the beauty of these technologies, is that they're very Swiss Army knife. They're applicable in lots of different ways and in meaningful ways. Not just like you can shoehorn it in there. It's like, no, that is the right way to do it.
So from like a firewall sizing standpoint, like what makes you decide to get an SRX 1600 versus say a 2300 versus whatever? And I will preface this by saying, and you've probably run into it before, but me as well, in the past, where like, say you had a 5 gig firewall and it's like, well, we're only pushing 4 gigs through, to the internet. I'm like, why is it melting? Well, it's because you have all this east-west traffic too that we kind of forgot about.
That's right.
I think a lot of customers, they look at, I need a new firewall because this one's, we're maxing this one out. I have a 10 gig link and we're only doing 7 gigs of data. So I should be fine with a 10 gig firewall. Maybe not so much.
That's right. I think you're touching on a point of fundamentally flawed. I think we've inherited this over the years, this idea of a throughput number, and that's the category, and just there's one number for this box. But firewalls are the perfect example. It really depends on exactly what services you turn on, what features you have on. You're asking VPN, you're asking the processors on this, not just to keep looking at the same, 24 bits on a frame every single time and just doing that. Some of them it's got to go deep into the packet, restructure, reassemble some packets, see what's going on, and then make smart decisions. Right? All of that takes time, it takes energy, it takes effort. meaning processing power. Yep. Now your number that you've stamped on it is a different number. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's so, you know, I personally don't like to look at it as this is a one number box, right? You got to look at some of the details. How much IPsec is it doing? How many, applications is it aware of? What are you trying to do with your segmentation? That, those are all an important parts. So first and foremost, my preference is to really test it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Vendors are great. I'm sure they're as honest as they can be on their data sheets. But at the end of the day, it's my name on is it working as expected. I'm gonna have to test that particular set if I haven't already done it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's an important aspect.
And that's why I will never use on any vendor ever their max firewall speed. Right. Because just what you said, once you start adding in all that
that's
stuff,
like the best case scenario every single time.
I use the IMIX as the best case scenario, right? Like, I guess that's usually almost like half of what the max is. And
that's right.
Because look at the max. Yeah, it doesn't usually go too well.
That's right. That's right.
Awesome.